Welcome to the most useful English learning podcast
by Speak English with Sophie and James. Okay, Sophie, I want you to think about something for a second. Think about the biggest mistake you've ever made in your life. Something you really, truly regret. Got one?
Oh, wow, you're starting strong today. Okay, yes, I've got one. It's a bit embarrassing, actually.
Perfect. Don't tell me yet. Just hold on to that feeling of if only I had done things differently. Because today we are talking about one of the most powerful, most emotional, and honestly most misunderstood grammar structures in English. We're talking about would have plus the past participle. Would have done, would have been, would have gone, would have said.
And if you've ever felt confused by this structure, if you've ever heard a native speaker say something like, "I would have called you, but my phone died," and thought, wait, what does that even mean exactly? Then you are in the right place today.
Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how native speakers use would have when they're talking about regrets, imaginary situations, past possibilities, and so much more. We're going to make this completely natural. No textbook language, just real English.
And James, before we dive in, just a quick reminder to everyone watching. If you're learning English and you find this kind of content helpful, please hit that subscribe button. We make videos like this every week to help you understand real, natural English, and it's completely free. So subscribe and join our community.
All right, let's get into it. So Sophie, let me ask you, when you hear the phrase would have done, what does it make you think of?
Honestly, it used to make me think of something that didn't happen, like a missed event. Something that was possible but didn't actually occur.
That's actually a really good instinct, because at its core, would have is about the past that didn't happen. It's about imaginary situations, alternative realities, the road not taken.
Oh, that's beautiful. The road not taken.
Right? And I think that's what makes this structure so emotional. When people use would have, they're often expressing regret or surprise, or sometimes even gratitude, like, wow, things could have been so different.
Okay, so let's make sure everyone understands the form first, because the structure itself is actually quite simple once you see it clearly.
Yes, the structure is would have plus past participle. So you take the verb would, add have, and then you use the past participle form of the main verb. For example, would have gone, would have said, would have been, would have known, would have done.
And for anyone who's not sure what a past participle is, it's the third form of the verb. In regular verbs, it usually ends in ed, like worked, finished, lived. But for irregular verbs, you have to learn them separately, like gone, been, seen, written, known.
Exactly. So the full form looks like this. I would have gone to the party. She would have called you. They would have been happy.
And in spoken English, we shorten would have. We say would have. So it sounds like I would have gone to the party. She would have called you.
This is so important, Sophie, because a lot of learners hear would have and they think people are saying would of, two separate words, but that's not correct. There is no would of in English. It doesn't exist. It's always would have, or in spoken form, would have.
Yes, I've seen that mistake so many times, even in writing. People write would have done, and it's like, no, it's would have done or would have done.
All right, so now let's talk about the uses, because would have appears in a few different situations, and each one has a slightly different feeling. The most common and most important use of would have plus past participle is in the third conditional. And Sophie, I think this is where learners struggle the most.
Definitely. The third conditional feels complicated at first, but honestly, once you understand what it's for, it becomes much more natural.
So the third conditional is used to talk about imaginary situations in the past, things that didn't happen, but we're imagining what would have happened if things had been different.
Okay, let's use an example. James, tell me about a situation where you made a choice and you sometimes think, what if I had chosen differently?
Oh, good one. Okay, so when I was about 22, I had the chance to move to another country for work, a really exciting opportunity, and I didn't take it. I stayed home. And sometimes I think about that and I say to myself, if I had moved abroad at 22, my life would have been completely different.
See? Did you hear that? If I had moved abroad, my life would have been completely different. That's the third conditional. Past perfect in the if clause, if I had moved, and would have plus past participle in the result. My life would have been different.
And notice the feeling here. There's a little bit of wistfulness, a little bit of, I wonder what would have happened. It's not necessarily regret. It's more like reflection.
Right. And it can go in the other direction too. It can express gratitude or relief. Like, if I had taken that job, I would have moved to another city, and I never would have met my best friend.
Exactly. So the third conditional can be used for regret, but also for gratitude, for curiosity, for storytelling. It's a very rich structure.
Let's look at the full structure one more time for clarity. In the third conditional, the if clause uses the past perfect. If I had done, if she had known, if they had arrived. And the result clause uses would have plus past participle. I would have done, she would have known, they would have arrived.
And here's something really useful. You can reverse the order of the clauses. You don't always have to start with if. You can say, I would have been late if I hadn't left early. Or, she would have failed the exam if she hadn't studied.
The meaning is exactly the same. You're just changing the order for style or emphasis.
Now, there's another very natural use of would have, and this one comes up in everyday conversation all the time, and that's expressing regret or criticism, especially about your own past behavior or someone else's.
Oh, yes, this is where it gets very real and very human.
So imagine you forgot your friend's birthday. You feel terrible about it. Later you might say, I would have called you, but I completely forgot. Or even more emotionally, I would have remembered if I hadn't been so busy.
And in those sentences, you're explaining a past action, or rather a past non-action, and giving the reason. You're saying, this thing didn't happen, and here's why.
But would have is also used to express regret more directly. For example, I should have called her. Or with would have, I would have done it differently if I had known.
Now, there's an important distinction here. Should have and would have are slightly different in feeling. Should have is more about moral or personal obligation, like you feel you did the wrong thing. Would have is more about the result, what would have happened under different circumstances.
Great point. Let me give you an example. I should have apologized sooner. That expresses guilt. But I would have apologized sooner if I had known she was upset. That's explaining why you didn't by referring to a condition that wasn't there.
And would have is also used to criticize someone else's past behavior, but usually indirectly, politely. Like, a good friend would have told me the truth, or he would have apologized if he really cared.
Ooh, that second one is quite passive-aggressive, actually. He would have apologized if he really cared. That's definitely something you might hear in a real conversation when someone is frustrated.
Absolutely. And native speakers use this all the time without even thinking about it. It's just natural expression.
Okay, Sophie, now let's talk specifically about would have been, because this one is incredibly common, and it has some beautiful uses.
Yes, would have been is just the structure with the verb be, would have been, but it appears in so many different situations.
Let's start with the obvious one, using it in the third conditional. If she had studied harder, she would have been a doctor. If I had taken that job, I would have been living in Paris right now.
Oh, interesting. I would have been living in Paris right now. That mixes would have been with the ing form. That's called the third conditional continuous. It's used when you're imagining an ongoing situation in the present as a result of a past condition.
Exactly. So if I had taken that job 3 years ago, I would have been working in Paris right now. The action started in the past and would still be happening now, but it didn't because of a different past choice.
Let's give another example. If they had caught the earlier flight, they would have been sitting on the beach right now.
Perfect. And you can feel the sense of loss, like that could have been us on the beach, but it's not because of that one decision.
Now, would have been also appears when you're making deductions or guesses about the past. So you're trying to figure out how someone felt or what a situation was like, and you're speculating.
Like that interview would have been really stressful. You weren't there, but based on what you know, you're making an educated guess about what the experience was probably like.
Or she had been working for 15 hours straight. She would have been exhausted. That's a logical conclusion about someone's emotional or physical state in the past.
Yes, and this is very natural in storytelling. When you're narrating a story about someone, a historical figure, a character in a film, a friend, you might use would have been to describe their likely inner experience. At that moment, standing at the top of the mountain, he would have been feeling an incredible sense of achievement.
That's so cinematic. I love it.
Now here's a use of would have that surprises a lot of learners. Sometimes it's used to talk about past willingness or past offers, things you were ready to do, but the situation didn't come up or the person didn't ask.
Can you give an example?
Yes. Imagine your friend moves to a new apartment and they struggled because they didn't have anyone to help them. Later, you find out. You might say, "You should have told me. I would have helped you." Meaning, I was willing to help. I would have done it, but I didn't know you needed it.
Ah, I see. So you're expressing retrospective willingness, looking back and saying I was ready and willing, but the opportunity or the information wasn't there.
Exactly. And it often comes with a slight sense of frustration. Like, why didn't you just ask me? I would have done it in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, that's a beautiful idiom. It means immediately, without hesitation. So I would have done it in a heartbeat means I would have done it instantly, no questions asked.
Yes. And this use of would have is very common in close relationships, between friends, family members, colleagues. It's a way of saying, I care about you. I was available. You just didn't reach out.
It can also be used in a slightly more formal context. Like, if you had contacted us earlier, we would have been happy to assist. That's very natural in customer service language or professional communication.
All right, let's talk about the negative form, wouldn't have plus past participle, because this is just as important and just as common.
The negative is simple. Instead of would have, you say would not have, or in spoken English, wouldn't have. I wouldn't have gone if I had known. She wouldn't have said that if she meant it.
And the negative can express relief. If that had happened, it wouldn't have been pretty. Or it can express a counterfactual, something that definitely would not have occurred under different circumstances.
Let me give a real-life example. You're in a job interview. You got the job. Later, talking to a friend, you say, if I hadn't prepared so well, I wouldn't have gotten the job. Or I wouldn't have been so confident if I hadn't practiced.
And in spoken English, especially British English, you'll often hear wouldn't have got rather than wouldn't have gotten. Both are correct. Gotten is more American, got is more British. Either way, the meaning is the same.
Great point. Now, something interesting. In questions, would have becomes would you have, would she have, would they have. For example, would you have said anything if you had been there? Or would she have told us the truth if we had asked directly?
These questions feel very reflective, very philosophical. They invite the other person to think about their values and their honesty. Would you have done the right thing in that situation? That's a deep question.
Okay, Sophie, let's make this really real. I want to have a natural conversation using all of these forms, and I want our viewers to listen carefully and try to notice every time we use would have or would have been.
I love this. Okay, let's do it. So, you know what I was thinking about the other day? The day I almost missed my flight to London. That was horrifying.
Oh no, tell me what happened.
Okay, so it was about 2 years ago. I had this really important presentation in London. The flight was at 7 a.m. And I set my alarm. I thought I set my alarm, but somehow I set it for 7 p.m. instead of 7 a.m.
Oh no, Sophie, no.
Yes, I woke up at 6:45. The airport was 40 minutes away. I just panicked. I grabbed everything, jumped in a taxi.
And you made it?
I made it by like 4 minutes. But if that taxi hadn't been right outside my building, I would have missed the flight completely.
Wow, and the presentation?
It went really well, actually. But if I had missed that flight, I would have missed the entire presentation. The client would have been furious. I probably would have lost the contract.
That's a lot riding on 4 minutes. And honestly, you know what? I think in that situation, most people would have completely frozen, just panicked and not known what to do.
Honestly, I nearly did. But I just kept moving, one step at a time. And you know, if I had stayed calm from the beginning and checked my alarm the night before, none of that would have happened.
Hindsight, right? It's always 20/20. That's an expression. Hindsight is 20/20. It means looking back, everything seems obvious, but in the moment, you didn't know.
Exactly. I would have double-checked my alarm if I had known what was coming. But of course, you never do know.
And that's actually the beauty of the third conditional, isn't it? It lets us process past experiences, think them through, learn from them. It's almost therapeutic.
I never thought about grammar as therapeutic before, but you're right.
All right, let's talk about the most common mistakes learners make with would have, because I want everyone watching to avoid these.
First one, and this is really common, using would have in both clauses of the third conditional.
Right. Some learners say, if I would have known, I would have told you. That's incorrect. The if clause must use the past perfect. If I had known, not would have known. The would have only goes in the result clause.
So the correct version is, if I had known, I would have told you. The if part uses past perfect. The result uses would have.
Mistake number 2, confusing would have with would. Sometimes learners use would when they should use would have, and it changes the meaning completely. I would do it sounds like you're willing to do it now or in general. I would have done it means specifically that in that past situation, you would have done it, but you didn't.
Such an important distinction. Let me give an example. I would help you. That's present or general willingness. I would have helped you. That refers to a specific past situation where help was possible but didn't happen.
Mistake number 3, pronouncing would've as would've. As we said at the beginning, there is no would've in English grammar. When you see it written, it's wrong. When you hear it, it's actually would've. People are just speaking quickly.
And mistake number 4, forgetting to use the past participle after would have. Some learners say would have go instead of would have gone, or would have be instead of would have been. Remember, it's always would have plus past participle.
These are small details, but they make a big difference in sounding natural and accurate.
Let's highlight some really useful natural expressions with would have that you can start using right away.
First one, I would have thought that. This is used when something surprises you. Like, I would have thought she'd be more understanding. It means, based on what I knew, I expected something different.
Second, who would have thought? This expresses surprise or amazement. Who would have thought that 10 years later we'd still be friends? It's almost rhetorical. You're not really asking a question, you're expressing wonder.
Third, it would have been nice if. This is a very gentle, polite way to express regret or disappointment. It would have been nice if you had told me earlier. It softens the criticism.
Fourth, I never would have imagined. This expresses how surprising or unexpected something is. I never would have imagined that this channel would reach so many people around the world.
Oh, that one gave me chills. Fifth, that would have been awkward. This is very casual, very conversational. It describes a past situation that almost happened, and you're grateful it didn't. If I had said that in front of her parents, that would have been so awkward.
And sixth, you would have loved it. This is used when you're telling someone about an experience and you wish they had been there. We went to this amazing jazz concert last night. You would have loved it.
I love that one. It's so warm and inclusive. You're bringing the person into the experience even though they weren't there.
All right, friends, let's bring it all together. We've covered a lot today, and I want to make sure you leave with everything crystal clear.
So, would have plus past participle is used in several ways. Number 1, the third conditional, to talk about imaginary past situations and their results. If I had known, I would have told you.
Number 2, to express regret or retrospective willingness. I would have helped you. You should have just asked.
Number 3, would have been, to describe likely past states, feelings, or to make deductions about the past.
Number 4, to express polite criticism or describe what someone should have done differently. A good friend would have said something.
And always remember, would've is the natural spoken form. Would've is never correct in written English, and the if clause always uses past perfect, not would have.
Now, before we finish, we want to hear from you. Here's a question for you to think about and answer in the comments.
Think about one decision in your life, something you chose to do or something you chose not to do, and tell us, what would have been different if you had chosen differently?
Use the structure we practiced today. Try to write 2 or 3 sentences. For example, if I had studied engineering instead of business, my life would have been very different. I probably would have moved to a different city. I might never have discovered my love for writing.
Write your answer in the comments below. We read every single comment, and sometimes we even reply. So leave your third conditional story down there, and let's practice together as a community.
And if this video helped you, if something clicked for you today, if you finally understand would have in a way you didn't before, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps our channel grow, and it helps more English learners around the world find us.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We've got videos on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, idioms, natural conversation, and so much more. New videos every week. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.
One last thought before we go. Language learning is a journey. There will be moments when things feel difficult, confusing, even impossible. But think about this. If you give up today, where would you have been 1 year from now? 2 years from now?
Still in the same place.
Exactly. But if you keep going, if you keep showing up, watching, practicing, listening, 1 year from now, you will have made incredible progress. And you'll look back and say, I'm so glad I kept going.
That's not a conditional anymore. That's a promise.
That's a promise.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep listening, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care. Bye for now.